Good morning. Welcome to Piano Outlet. It's Sunday, January 5th. We received a shipment. Actually, in our last video, you see us unloading it. Some of those pianos are here today. Anyway, right now we've got 4 C7s, 2 CSs, and a CF. Real nice selection of big pianos. Anyway, so for instance, this is a mid-1970s C7. But just to show you the difference, for instance, this is one that just came in, okay? And you can see the inside. It's kind of dirty, you know, you can't really see the soundboard that well. Here, as a matter of fact, look in here, you see, you know, this is generally how the pianos will arrive. And as you may or may not know, every single piano that comes in here goes through a process where it gets restrung. We take it all apart, remove all the strings. The second C7 is about the same age. And if the camera comes over here, you can see a big difference. This is how the piano is going to be after. So you just saw a before and after, same vintage pianos of C7s. Incidentally, older C7s have the black rim on the inside. And from 1980 on, they went to wood veneer. And you'll see that over here in this piano, wood veneer. This is a later model. This piano is also recently had just a complete restringing. And you can see the inside's nice and new and fresh and crisp, and this is the way our pianos are going to go out for the most part. Actually, for every part, that's the way they go out. And I'm very proud of the fact that when these pianos do leave here, they're going to look pretty much like new and behave and perform as new. So when you take into consideration, Yamaha C7 today is $85,000, and ours start at around 18 and go up with all complete strings. Complete new strings, the whole case polished, all scratches removed, new long hinge. We go through the pedals all get taken out, they get polished, we do complete regulation, everything gets cleaned, it's basically put back to new. Here's another 1980s C7, and over here we have our CS. The CS is a member of Yamaha's S series pianos, which are the ones that are hand built in a special factory, not on the assembly line. They have much thicker rim and a bunch of other things that are interesting, but we'll come back to that. We have another CS over here. Again, they stopped making these pianos in 1980, and very much the same piano as the CF, which is the next piano over. This is the 9-foot. This is Yamaha's flagship. Today, this piano is $200,000. This is a mid-1980s model, and it's very much the same as the CS. The CF, those letters stand for full concert grand. So CF, full concert grand, CS, semi-concert grand. And then in the late 70s, they changed the design of the CS, actually improved it. It's called the CS2, which basically you have represented here. So pretty much you have probably the largest selection of anywhere in the United States of C7s, CSs, and the CF, all together in one place. But anyway, just to give you an idea of the difference, for one thing, if we're going to talk about the differences between a C7 and a CS, let's move these music stands out here. Get them out of the way. So you get a better look at the pianos. Okay, one thing you're going to notice about the difference between the CS and the C7, naturally, CS is longer. But that aside, one of the things right away, if you look at the rim, this is the thickness of the rim on a C7. Now we're going to go over to the CS. And I did measure it before. It's actually a ½ inch thicker. And actually the rims on the S-series Yamahas, which is S6, CS, CF, they're made of maple, which is a much harder wood and actually better for reproducing sound, give you a more powerful bass. But it's more expensive to produce because the maple is much harder wood to work with, I would assume. I'm not a piano building expert, but in playing them, you know, there is a substantial difference, and a substantial difference in cost as well. One of the other things that you're going to notice about the difference between the C7 and the CS or CF is that when you have sections of string here, and when it gets to the tenor section, you notice that, you know, we have all 3 strings per note, and then when we get to the bass section, we start off with 2 strings per note, okay? So that change is a little bit abrupt, maybe, I don't know, but in both the CS and the CF, you'll notice that you go from 3 strings per note in the piano wire, and it stays to 3 strings per note for 4 notes in the tenor section, which gives you better sound in the tenor section. See the difference here? Actually, the difference is in here. See a difference. Incidentally, you might be looking at these keys and go, what is going on with the keys on this C7? Well, believe it or not, in Japan, they did not stop putting real ivory keys on pianos till like in the mid-1980s. You know, and it's been outlawed here in the United States for years. When our pianos come in from Japan, if the pianos have ivory on them, they have to be removed because it's actually illegal to import ivory. So if they went through customs and customs saw that there was ivory on the piano, they would just rip it all off and destroy the piano. So that's why before the pianos come to me from Japan, all the ivories have to be removed, which is no big deal. We'll just go ahead and we're going to put Yamaha standard key tops on this piano. Some of the other things, let's go underneath and see what the difference is, how these pianos are built. Okay, so underneath you see we got all the bracing here, and you know, these pianos they're built unbelievable. Basically, it almost looks like a boat under here. Now, let's look at the C7, and you see there's a little bit of a difference. You got more bracing in the CS, much more heavy duty. And let's go back to the CS. So you've got this piece here, you got another piece going across here, you have that section over there, you have this over here, and the C7 doesn't have all of that. It has one piece going across here, but not the big heavy beam that you see on the CS. Okay, another little difference. Over here you have, a lot of people ask me what this is for. This is a lid lockdown. When you close the lid and this comes into here, you turn this and it locks it down so the lid won't open. The C7 just has a standard lid, does not have the fancy knob with the Yamaha logo. Let's do a little bit of a comparison in the way they sound. Let me move this bench over here. And I'll play a little bit of something, and then we'll see the difference. Let me get another bench over here so I don't have to move benches around. All right. On a C7. I don't know how easy it's going to be able to tell with a computer speaker, but we'll give it a shot. have to allow for is the fact that, you know, some pianos are voiced a little differently. Like this CS is a little brighter than this C7, so it could, you know, some people like a brighter sound, which I like a brighter sound. But, sounds on the CS. Of an idea of how the differences between the sound and the build quality of both pianos. They both have the same action, so there's really no difference as far as the way the pianos feel. As long as they're regulated properly, they're all going to feel great. Just the Yamahas. Anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My name is Russell. The number here is 954-803-3319, Piano Outlet, Coral Springs.